Look it out! What? Alright guys, what's up? It's Charlie. We are here at the Turtle Conservancy in Ojai, which is only literally an hour and 15 north of LA. I'm trying to find areas and local efforts, especially in California, that we can bring awareness to. And this is one of our first stops. This is Forrest. He's gonna be in all of these videos. I've talked about him a bunch on my page. And just because the world has slowed down does not mean that everything else has slowed down. These animals still need our help and there's still so much going on. So we're gonna show you guys what's going on here and how you can help.
I'm gonna introduce you to my buddy James, good buddy of mine. We've been friends for a long time. James is the director of the Turtle Conservancy, and he's going to be our guide today, show us around, tell us a little bit about the facility.
Yeah, thank you so much for having us here.
No, thanks for joining us. The turtles appreciate your enthusiasm. These grounds double not only as like an assurance colony for these animals, but they're also kind of way to engage the public. Monsi guides, a lot of tours here. We have donors come through here all the time. People, you know, they can rent the guest houses here. They can just come bring their families, and all that money basically goes into the care of the animals here and protecting wild land.
Speaking of hanging out with turtles,
yeah,
shall we?
Yes, let's do it. We're born from necessity, essentially. Turtles and tortoises are some of the most endangered species on the planet. All the animals here are from captive breeding programs or from confiscations from the illegal wildlife trade. So we get them from U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, customs at LAX. Really,
safe spot.
Yeah, exactly. And really what the goal is moving forward is to protect as much habitat in the wild for these animals. Eventually one day they can go and live in the wild where they're supposed to be.
These beautiful animals are radiated tortoises from Madagascar. Here at the Turtle Conservancy, they've managed to breed over 200 of these incredible critically endangered creatures. This old girl here is like 120 years old.
I grew up in Vegas with tortoises everywhere, so it's really cool to see like different types of tortoises from Madagascar especially. I know Madagascar had like a deforestation issue, and that's part of the reason they were going extinct, right?
Exactly right, yeah. But fortunately, groups like the Turtle Conservancy fight to combat their extinction and have this phenomenal breeding program of all these animals here.
I know, it's so cool. All these, they were saying that they hatch turtles here all the time, and anybody who can come here, which is really cool. You guys can go through tours here, and everybody can come see the turtles, and that's like a huge part of helping places like this stay alive is, you know, coming to do the tours and helping them fund everything to protect these beautiful creatures, because a lot of times the most beautiful things in the entire world end up getting exploited because of how incredible they are.
Without a doubt. Well, enjoy them for a minute, and when you're ready, we'll move on to the next guys.
Why would anybody ever want to hurt these beautiful creatures or eat them? I was talking about how obviously a huge part of the reason turtles are endangered is because of people eating them. Turtle stew is a very common thing, as well as I was talking about like shark fin soup and like all these other delicacies with endangered beautiful animals. And to me, at this point, that would be the equivalent of cutting off a human hand and cooking it. These creatures are just as intelligent and beautiful in their own different ways than humans. And just because people don't understand that doesn't mean that their life or their world is any less valuable than ours.
Charlie making friends over there?
Yes!
Look at them, they love you.
I know!
All over you.
This guy just uses his shell and he just like tries to like crush
he's going
people.
for it.
He's trying to
Can you guess where the name radiated tortoise comes from?
I actually have no idea.
So see how the star patterning radiates out from the center of each scoot?
That makes sense.
You see how you can tell she's so old? See how it's kind of like her shell's like pockmarked, it's got all this like big ridging, and it's all scratched up. It's not like shiny and pretty. Exactly. It's very clear that this is an old animal.
Zero fear with animals. Looking for a hidden turtle. Wait, is that him? No.
That's him. Oh yeah, no, that's him. This is why they're one of my favorites.
Oh my gosh.
Come see this beauty.
These guys are real dinosaurs. If you just look at like...
I would say turtles like dinosaurs, but this is like
the name
a full
of the
dinosaur.
species?
No.
It's a big-headed turtle.
They can't pull their heads inside their shells, and they've traded that adaptation for all this armor plating.
They're how many millions of years old?
Please tell me people aren't eating these beautiful creatures.
Unfortunately, they are a soup pot turtle.
He can crunch straight through crawfish, smaller turtles.
Yeah.
They'll eat snakes. I mean, literally pretty much anything he can put in his mouth, he'll crunch through clams.
You think you're tough? Look how big he is. You're tiny.
Here, give me a nipple piercing.
Right now we're going into the Asian greenhouse where we're going to check out more turtles. You're so tiny, but you look so big. delicious.
So these are spiny hill turtles. When they hatch and when they're juveniles, they have all these spikes around their shell. And then as they grow older and mature, the spikes kind of start to grow downwards.
What's pretty cool about these guys is, I mean, they're semi-aquatic. So you think of a turtle lives in water and a tortoise lives on land. That's what we think of, right? But with these guys, they're semi-aquatic.
Can they even feel it when you touch their shell?
Yeah, they
certainly.
can.
It's
Really?
part of their bones. And when we go see the big tortoises just now, you'll see you can pat them on the butt and they'll give you like a little butt wiggle because it feels good.
Same, I also do that when people
get a
pat me
little
on the
butt
butt.
wiggle?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm just like, thank you.
So this is like a crown jewel example of how we don't know everything.
For like 70 years, they thought this animal was extinct. And
As in, nobody saw one for 70 years.
And one of our scientists actually was in a food market in Asia, saw one of these like, that doesn't look like anything I've seen before, researched it a little bit, and realized this animal was not extinct.
Keep in mind, a lot of the time the poachers don't know that what they're doing is anything wrong.
We're one of just like a handful of zoos that have bred them outside of their range.
Literally bringing this animal, this is like
Yeah.
a Frankenstein creature, back from the dead. Gone from the planet, holding it in your hand right now, an animal that literally didn't exist for 70 years.
So this is a baby Platinota. That's a Burmese. That's a Burmese star tortoise, and they are critically endangered due to deforestation, mainly due to the palm oil industry. And so our program at the Turtle Conservancy is to help build up the population and one day go back to Burma and reintroduce the species.
Going back to bed, baby?
Yeah, thank you so much.
No, thank you. I would have like 500 of those just like walking around me if I could. Ooh. Turtles.
I like turtles.
I hate you.
Would you mind, if you want to hold it, would you mind putting on a pair of gloves? So welcome to our nursery. There's a little baby Galapagos that he's one of our newest residents. That little baby will grow up to be over 500 pounds. These are one of my favorite species of turtles. These are Rhode Island snake neck turtles. These turtles fold their necks in, and that's called Pleurodyra. Other turtles and tortoises are called Cryptodyra. So thousands of years ago, these were what all turtles looked like. We were just talking about Cryptodyra and Pleurodyra.
Which is which? Which turtle sticks its head in, which turtle bends its neck?
Pluto's out, Crypto's in.
Very good.
Yeah.
I had to think about it for a second. I was like, wait a minute,
Like,
oh
he
yeah.
asked me and I was like, wait, I thought I got it wrong. I was like, damn it, I just failed my first quiz. What would you say is like the dominating reason that animals struggle?
Oh,
What would you say?
habitat destruction, hands down. It's the blanket problem. Peanut butter with palm oil in it. You know,
Right.
if you don't eat your Oreos and eat something sustainable, orangutans get to live in Borneo. You know, little things like that that people don't realize. Like literally, palm oil plantations are one of the leading causes of habitat destruction in Southeast Asia and South America now.
Right in here is our giant tortoise enclosure, and giant tortoises used to be found almost all over the world. And now, unfortunately, mainly due to human consumption, they're left in two different groups, and those are the Galapagos tortoises and Aldabra tortoises, which we are lucky enough to have both of those species here at our center.
Look at how...
Oh, Lord.
They're huge.
Should we get
some
I
food?
got
just
celery
kneel
for
down?
you. Y'all aren't even chewing, you're just inhaling.
Yeah, they don't have teeth, so they just rip and swallow.
What?
They're basically the dominant herbivore in their landscape. They're like the buffalo, the wildebeest, whatever, the rhino, whatever you want to think of it as. So they have essentially no predators once they come to this size. But they also have a symbiotic relationship with a lot of the animals around them, including finches, which will come and basically eat parasites like ticks. So they trigger this, it's called the finch response. They go into this trance essentially. And if you start scratching him on his neck, on his legs.
See how the eyes kind of roll back and they're just like, oh.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm not getting any neck scratches, what the fuck?
We're feeding them celery. It's not a great food to feed tortoises, but they're on diet, so we can't just like stuff them full of their favorite foods.
They eat a lot of wild
It's not
celery.
bulking season.
Yeah, exactly.
Look,
James
he's
Jr.
like, wait,
Yeah.
there's a celery.
Two. James Jr. is
Hold on,
somewhere else.
the action.
So I guess the question that you need to answer then. What'd you learn here? What do you think about the Turtle Conservancy?
Well, I definitely knew some about more turtles, not as much tortoises prior to coming here. You just checked me on that. Also, did not know that so many species were here that literally are nowhere else on planet Earth, and the fact that you guys found a species that was thought to be extinct was pretty crazy.
The Turtle Conservancy is doing a phenomenal job of protecting these creatures all over the world. In fact, right now they have a holiday campaign going on where they're trying to match a grant to protect a last bit of virgin habitat in South Africa that not just protects the turtles and tortoise species there, but all the animals in the ecosystem. Turtles and tortoises are one of the fastest disappearing groups of animals on Earth due to habitat loss, due to poaching for food and pets, and it's thanks to great organizations like the Turtle Conservancy that is slowing down that effect. And in many cases, like with these animals and other animals that we've seen today, they're reversing it. So it's a wonderful thing to support.
They need our help too, and there's so much we can do. So make sure you guys check out the Turtle Conservatory. It's in Ojai, California. It's literally an hour and 15 north of LA.